Good afternoon or good morning, guys. We are Group 2, and we will be tackling results education at the University of Santo Tomas. And our team members will be Kelly, Angelo, Nicole, Reezan, me, and Rogeliz. For the subtopics, there will be a composition of University of Santo Tomas, Rizal Education, April of 1877, the dates, and 1879. The other subtopic will be
Casa Tomasina, Leonor Rivera Orang or Orang, a la Juventud Filipina or meaning to the Filipino youth, 1880 Consejo de los Dioses, and
Compañerismo or Comradeship, El Filibusterismo, the Chapter 13, or the Physics in Class, the class in Physics, his extracurricular activities in the UST, and his value to education. Now, for the history, throughout its more than 400 years of existence, the university has become the alma mater of four Filipino heroes who shaped the nation's destiny, like Jose Rizal, Emilio Jacinto, Marcelo H. del Pilar, and Apolinario Mabini. The University of Santo Tomas is the oldest existing university in Asia. In terms of student population, it is the largest Catholic university in the world in a single campus. The institution was established through the initiative of Bishop Miguel de Benavides, OP, the third bishop of Manila.
Rizal Education. Rizal earned a land surveyor's and assessor's degree from the Ateneo de Municipal while taking up philosophy and letters at the University of Santo Tomas. Rizal opted to the study ophthalmology at the UST Faculty of Medicine and Surgery. However, was not able to complete the course because he became politically isolated by adversaries among the faculty and clergy who demanded that he assimilate to their system. Francisco and Fasciano wanted Jose to pursue higher education.
Now, for the important dates, uh, in April of 1877, Rizal, as a young man befuddled by life, was unsure of his course he would choose upon joining UST. He enrolled metaphysics during his first term to fulfill his father's dream of having a lawyer in the family. His interest in the humanities sparked, but he realized it was unsustainable and unrealistic. Jose P. Rizal was 16 years old back then when he enrolled in the University of Santo Tomas. He took up the course of philosophy and letters. In your screens are the picture or the recorded scholastics record in the UST by Rizal. So still in that same date, Leonor Valenzuela or Miss L, fair with seductive eyes and attractive eyes. Rizal's sad experience with his first love, Segunda Katigbak, made him wiser in the ways of romance. Rizal sent her love notes written in invisible ink that could only be deciphered over the warmth of a lamp or a candle. He visited her on his eve departure to Spain and with her last goodbye. So the reason for the change of heart of Rizal is first, the sweet memory of Segunda Katigbak was still fresh in his heart, and the second is his father did not like the family of Miss L. Now next, in the date of 1879.
1879. In 1879, Rizal took medicine as his course. He finally had a reason why he chose to study medicine. It is because he wanted to be a physician so that he might be able to cure his mother failing eyesight. Rizal was an outstanding student in reality. He was one of the few students who had the opportunity to study ambulation, pre-medical course, alongside his father year of medicine. That was against higher education's rules. This was a difficult assignment given some of his classmates failed multiple subjects. Casa Tomasina from 1877 to 1882, Rizal studied in the University of Santo Tomas in Intramuros, enrolling in the course Philosophy and Letters, but shifted to medicine a year after. Rizal, like many other college students nowadays, stayed in a hostel to escape the hustle of daily commutes to and from UST. Behind the Intramuros walls, he found a new home in Casa Tomasina, a boarding house on Calle 6, Santo Tomas.
Now, shown in your screens is the picture of Casa Tomasina that was taken between 1877 to 1882. Now, for the life of Leonor Orang in 1879, at the start of Rizal's Jr., his landlord uncle, Antonio Rivera, had a pretty daughter, Leonor. Rizal, cousin from Camiling, a student at La Concordia College where Soledad, his youngest sister, was studying. Born in Camiling, Taylor on April 11, 1867. She is a pretty girl, frail, and with tender eyes as a budding flower with kindly wistful eyes. Taismis. His Leonor's pseudonym or the signed name in letters in order to camouflage their intimate relationship from parents and friends.
Okay, let's go to A la Juventud Filipina, meaning to the Filipino youth. In the year of 1879, there is this literary contest by Artistic Literary Lyceum. Rizal participated in. He was 18 years old at that time when he submitted a poem. He won the first prize in his poem, A la Juventud Filipina, meaning to the Filipino youth. Rizal implored the Filipino to rise from lethargy and to let their genius fly swifter than the wind and descend with art science to break the chains that have long bound the spirit of the people. In the poem Rizal versus the benefits that Spain had bestowed upon the Philippines. Rizal had frequently depicted the renowned Spanish explorers, generals, and kings in the most patriotic manner. He had picture education brought the Philippines by Spain. As the breath of life instilling charming virtue, he had written of one of his Spanish teachers as having brought the light of the eternal splendor. In this poem, however, it is the Filipino youth who are the protagonists whose prodigious genius, making use of the education to build the future, was the Bella Esperanza de la Patria Mia, meaning beautiful hope of the motherland. Spain, with pious and wise hand, offered a crown splendid band offers to the sons of this Indian land.
So under in your screen are the picture of his written poem or La Juventud Filipina or to the Filipinos. Now for from that past date we will now go to 1880. Consejo de los Dioses or the Council of Gods. This is to commemorate the 4th centennial death of the Cervantes and author of the Don Quixote. Rizal now submitted an allegorical drama in the 1880. Another literary contest was held upon by the same program that he joined before. Jose Rizal play El Consejo de los Dioses to uncover some relative aspects covering the social components of the Western humanistic viewpoint into a literary context and in the view of Philippine culture, a growing outlook that which of striving for self-knowledge is the key for recognition. As Rizal further investigates the genuine importance of the human need for information and allegorically represent the rules for a Filipino theoretical thought.
The allegory was based on the Greek's classic. Father Rector of the Ateneo helped him in securing the needed reference materials for his literary work. Consejo de los Dioses competed against priests, laymen, and professors of UST, newspapermen, and scholars, were treating Olympian gods talking about Western artistic norms. It turns into a reference text of scholarly analysis in the Philippines. Justice weighs the scale in giving or finding value in literary texts as they serve more than just an addition to the normative culture of literary itself, or formalism, but to create or denote moralism, values, ethics, and the importance of justice, as tied with human rights, as previously mentioned. Rizal once again won the first prize, but the Spanish community in Manila disapproved of the decision.
Rizal won a gold ring engraved with the bust of Cervantes, and for the first time in history, is excelled an Indio excelled in a national literary contest. His other works are Abd el-Aziz I Mahoma. This is an epic poem written by him in 1879 and was declaimed by a certain Manuel Fernandez on the night of December 8, 1879, in honor of the Ateneo's patrones. It recalls the struggle between the Spaniards and the Moors in Spain. Next is the Junto or Junto Alpasig or Alpasig. When translated into English, the title of this work means beside the Pasig River. In response to Jesuits' request, Rizal wrote this one-act play in a Spanish language for velada. Velada means a gala variety program during the principal feast days. This story revolves in the coming of the feast of the Virgin Mary, the havoc of Satan to the world of humans to tempt them to change and worship them. Next is the Ala Filipinas that was created on 1880, and ALMRP Pablo Ramon in 1881. This last literary work, because he truly loved his alma mater Ateneo as well as his professors, he wrote a poem for one of them, AIMRP Pablo Ramon, a lovely tribute to the very Reverend Pablo Ramon, or Rector of the Ateneo, who had been so kind and helpful to the national hero. The poem was written on the occasion of the Rector's birthday. So
Let's go.
next is the compañerismo or comradeship.
Let's go to Compañerismo or comradeship. To fight against the Spaniards, Galicano Apacible, Rizal's cousin from Batangas, who is the secretary of the society. In 1880, Rizal founded a secret society of Filipino UST students called Compañerismo or comradeship to fight against the Spaniards. With his cousin Galicano Apacible, his cousin from Batangas, who is the secretary of the society, the members of this society were called Companions of Jehu, Eho Hebreo, generals who fought the Armenians and ruled Israel for 28 years. Rizal was the chief, while his cousin Galiano Posible was secretary. And he was unhappy at this Dominican institution of higher learning because the reason number one, the Dominican professors were hostile to him. Number two is the Filipino student were usually discriminated by the Spaniards. Third is the method of instruction was obsolete and repressive. Rizal found the atmosphere at the UST suffocating to his sensitive spirit. The reason why Rizal was unhappy in UST was because the reason the Dominican professors were aggressive to him, Filipino students were being discriminated against by the Spaniards because of the race. The method of instructing them was obsolete or old-fashioned and restrictive, controlling what people do, especially by using force, preventing people from expressing their feelings, and as he failed to reach higher education, high honors due to the attitude of the professors.
Next is the El Filibusterismo Chapter 13, or A Class in Physics. In Rizal's novel El Filibusterismo, he described how the Filipino students were humiliated and insulted by their Dominican professors and how backward the method of instruction was, especially in the teaching of the natural sciences.
Extracurricular memories the an estudiante de Manila under the pen name P. Jacinto is a painter specialized in life-size landscape. Without without extracurricular activities, university life would be dull. Rizal was poet who won several poetry honors while still a student. Memorias de an estudiante de Manila under the pen name P. Jacinto is a painter who specialized in life-size landscape. In fact, he trained at the Academia de Dibujo y Pintura in Intramuros with renowned Filipino painter Felix Resurrection Hidalgo.
Uh, this is the picture of Academia de Dibujo y Pintura in Intramuros and Memorias de un Estudiante de Manila. Next is the value of education to Rizal. Rizal was not happy at the University of Santo Tomas compared with his student days at the Ateneo Municipal. The aim of education the aim of education, according to Rizal, is to raise the country to the pinnacle of grandeur to develop the peoples mentally. In this, Rizal stated that only through education could the country be spared from dominance, as education is a cornerstone of society and a precondition for social progress. Rizal considered Rizal was unha- He's leaving the UST to pursue his studies at the Madrid Central University in conformity with the ideas of Father Jose Burgos, one of the martyred priests of 1872. Father Burgos strongly advocated the Filipinos should study abroad because overseas education was considered an essential step of achieving reform and was thinking he shared his only brother, Rizal Pasiano.
Rizal always considered education as a medicine or something that could cure the problems of colonial Philippines. He believed in education that is free from political and religious control. He asserted that reform cannot be achieved if there is no suitable education, a liberal one, able to Filipinos. Okay, learning recap. The University of Santo Tomas, or UST, is the oldest existing university in Asia. He took up philosophy and letters because his father liked it, and he was still uncertain what career to pursue. Rizal took medicine as his course. He won the first prize in his poem A la Juventud Filipina, meaning to the Filipino youth. Rizal always considered education as medicine or something that could cure the problems of colonial Philippines.
That's it. Now we are again Group 2 and reporting results education at the University of Santo Tomas. Thank you for listening. These are the group members of our group. These are our picture. Thank you for listening and goodbye.